I'm gonna take these glasses off because I already know that like the glare is gonna be crazy in the video. But hey, listen, this your boy Mike reporting back live from Simplistic Death, where we just take the deepest of shit and make it as simple as possible so that you can actually apply it and take action on it. That's pretty much it. Spirituality, finances, worldly, the internal world and the external world. Making it simple so we can get to the root of things and really tap into that power within us and take control of our lives. That's what it's about. So, I want to talk about the trap of enlightenment, the trap of spiritual knowledge, the trap of knowing thyself. So, I was listening to a audio book earlier, um, and I heard something and I was like, wow, I got to make a video about this. And that you can never have clarity unless you give up searching for clarity. You can never have clarity unless you give up searching for clarity. Why? Why is that? So, does that mean that you should never read a book? No. Does that mean or practice a spiritual practice of any sort? No. The thing it's saying is this: is that sometimes you can get. It's almost like when you get obsessed with something. Obsession can be a good thing, and obsession can be a bad thing. And there's levels of obsession, right? So obsession can be something that pulls you along. It's obsession can be something that just overly just spins like you just overloading yourself. You just burn out to the point where you miss out the context because you miss out on the context of things because you're too focused on the details, right? And like that's something that I feel like definitely applies to a lot of people in the spirituality, spiritual community, and things like that. Because I see it all the time where people will get super into like one way of thinking, right? And they become obsessed with being spiritual. I'm spiritual. I'm a light, and I don't deal with everyday people. I'm this and that. I'm a this. I'm a that. I'm a you know you see this stuff, right? You might see a person there weekend and they just walk around with just or somebody that's into Egyptology and they're just you get what I'm saying, like they're Osiris, Arum Ahotep, right? Like people go too deep into things, and from the truth for real, this has been my experience. The truth lies in simplicity. The advanced shit is to get your conscious mind tied up in something so that the simplicity of your subconscious mind can feed through it without the interference and the blocking of your conscious mind that likes to be entertained. That's one of the biggest traps that people fall into is constantly seeking knowledge and seeking without doing any work and without actually reflecting on the knowledge that they have. Everybody wants to be. I personally went through this phase. I wasted time on this phase. Wanting to be smart, wanting to know a lot, but how much of the information are you applying and how much of the information are you applying to your subconscious mind versus applying to your ego? That's a big thing. Like how much of this is landing into the subconscious mind. So, oh, I'm a guy, a child of the Most High, or I'm a God, or I'm a Titan, or I'm a whatever you believe in, right? Whatever you believe the highest self is, and what your Creator calls for you to says you can be, whatever that is that you believe in, right? Instead of actually going through the process of changing your mindset so you think on a higher level, you act on a higher level, you engage people on a higher level, right? Instead of doing that, you walk around like, oh man, I'm the shit. Can't nobody touch me. I'm on like you don't really need to like all that stuff is true, right? It's like if you're smart, you don't need to go around telling motherfuckers you're smart. Motherfuckers gonna be like, "Wow, dude, you're like one of the smartest people I've ever met." But you're just one of the most kindest people I've ever met. You have to say, "I'm a nice person." People will tell you you're nice. People will also tell you you're an asshole or you're a fucking fool. So it it all comes down to working on yourself and being these things instead of saying you're these things. Because 9 times out of 10, if you're telling people you're a bunch of shit, you're trying to cover some shit that you're not. 9 times out of 10, if you're telling somebody you're this or you're that, you know what I'm saying? You're probably convincing somebody of some shit that you're not. And that's when you really are. I'm not talking about like if you're a doctor, you tell somebody, well, I'm a doctor. I'm talking about when you tell somebody I'm invincible, or I'm this, or I'm that. You don't really need to tell people all that shit. To be honest with you, know that shit, be able to cultivate it. Like let's just use you know martial arts as an analogy for spirituality, right? A person who's a black belt in a martial art doesn't need to walk around telling people I can kick your ass. When the time comes to whoop somebody's ass, they're gonna whoop somebody's ass. But on a day in and day out basis, they don't need to tell 50 million people I'm a black belt unless it's a situation where they're having a conversation and asking them about this or that or whatever. But for the most part, spirituality and stuff, it's only a handful of people you're really gonna be having those type of conversations with for the most part, you know. But that's just me. And there's love. For the most part, could be bent or unbroken. Like there's times where maybe you do want to tell people that you're this or that because it might help you manifest. But for the most part, hey, people overdo it. People focus too much on learning and bragging as opposed to learning, reflecting, and applying. That's what time it is, man. Learn, reflect, apply, experience, and look at the results you're getting and take those results as more things to reflect upon so you can calculate how you want to move forward. Don't fall into the trap of just constantly seeking clarity and constantly trying to find what'll work. Start reflecting, right? Because at the end of the day, if we're talking about spirituality and you say that you're God or you have a connection with God or you have a connection to the universe or a connection to source or unlimited, whatever it is that you believe in, you probably need to go within and quiet your mind, go within to really get that insight. But hey, I believe in you. Go believe in yourself and start reflecting on what you know instead of just constantly learning stuff. Reflect. Make start start discovering new things that aren't coming out of books, they're coming out of your mind, right? And this is going from spirituality to a scientific basis now. Your mind, the 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 receptors in your brain, the neurons in your brain, they make connections, right? They're like the stars, right? If you look at the stars in the sky and how you could draw like a line to this star, a line to that star, a line to that, so you have like the Big Dipper, and then you have this constellation, that constellation. Every time you make a connection between these stars, you'll have a new constellation, right? A new image that you can see. That's the same way your brain works. When you start making these different connections between different, you know, neurons in your brain, let's call them brain stars, right? You start making the connections between the 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 neurons in your brain, the stars in your brain. You start making these connections. New images, new possibilities will light up. You'll be mapping new untapped terrain within the consciousness of your own mind instead of always reading from a book. Now, sometimes you might need to read from a book. I'm not saying never read from a book. Let's be realistic. Let's be practical about shit, right? Let's not be ridiculous. I'm not saying to never read a book. I'm saying to read some books, reflect, make connections, come up with your own fresh, new ideas, especially if you're melanated. You have the power to create infinitely, right? Tap into that. Don't always rely on a book to tell you what's coming next. Map it out in your own mind with the information and the connections that you make by reflecting on your own thoughts. If you're infinity, infinity reflecting upon infinity is infinite, right? Your own mind reflecting on its own thoughts, that mirror infinity, mirroring infinity. Your infinite mind reflecting on your own thoughts creates infinite possibilities of shit that you can tap into that never been really seen on a planet, or if it has, it's never been seen on the planet the way that you can present it. Something to think about. But hey, I really didn't mean for this video to go that long. But I hope you got some value from it. I hope that you guys apply this. I hope it takes you to the next level in your consciousness. I hope it helps you to evolve and transcend. But more importantly, I hope it helps you to be the things that you're seeking. Instead of seeking them, that you become and be those things. That's what I would love to see for you. So until next time, I'm going to close it off this time. And I promise you I'm done this time. Until next time, peace. I believe in you. Now go believe in yourself. P.S. Here's a nice little affirmation that I feel like might help a lot of you. The affirmation is this: I am enough. Enough I am. I am enough. Enough I am. I am enough. Enough I am. Get into your mind that you're enough. You don't need a bunch of external things. Get the external things. Get a nice car. Get the things you want to get. But you don't need those things. Those things are just because you want to experience those, and because you have the right to manifest and experience life how you want to experience it, experience it. But you don't need those things. You have everything you need within your heart, your mind, and your body. Your body is a whole solar system within itself. The chakras, the organs. I told you your mind is like stars and all the neurons. We can get into that into another video, but peace. Love you guys. Stay up. Always stay being and stay woke. But really important, stay being. Stay being the things that you aspire. Stay being. Peace.